Can I now request Mr. Dilip Hanumara, CEO and Director, Trigyn Technologies, to please come up and deliver his address. Thank you.
Namaskar. Good morning, everyone. It is with great pleasure and honor I'm here today with our esteemed guests, both on the dais as well as remotely, and with all of you today. I thank the Indian Chamber of Commerce for bringing all of us here for a timely conversation. Trigyn Technologies has been in the business of digital enablement for quite a while now. For those of you who are not familiar with Trigyn, a quick introduction will come through our recent work. We have developed the CoWIN platform, the vaccination CoWIN platform for the Government of India. Thank you. The learnings that we got on the innovations at scale that were adopted in CoWIN is something we're looking forward to bringing to the educational institutions on digital learning in India and also across the globe. While today's core topic is the education technology trends in India, I'll start with taking a little bit broader view on how education innovation at scale with a ready India will lead to a ready world. And then I'll bring it back to the topic at hand. We live in a time of great transitions. A way of life established after the Second World War is in transition, which is impacting cultural changes across societies across the globe, not just in India. Globalization and its impact has created transition of superpowers. Over the last few years, it's become very evident we live in a multipolar world. Urbanization is picking up again after a couple of years of a little bit slowdown. Planetary systems are in transition. We call it global warming, which is pretty evident across the globe, and it's impacting all of us. Demographic changes are in transition. For India, we have 60+% of our population below 35 years. That's a huge opportunity for us. Information superhighways are built at an astonishing pace, and the bits and bytes are traveling across the globe in speeds never imagined before, in nano and milliseconds. What does that mean? This has led to us creating the parallel worlds. Today, the physical world we live in has a parallel digital world that is under construction every day. We now have this supercomputer called a mobile phone in our hand. It has changed the expectations and ambitions of billions of people around the globe, and especially in India. It has also created tremendous possibilities and opportunities for the dreamers and the visionaries who are in this room and everywhere. Focusing on digital, let's explore what that means in the context of today's gathering. Taking a little bit of step back, when electricity was first discovered, it was said that for the first few decades, it was used primarily for lighting a bulb. Today, you cannot imagine living without electricity. It has touched and impacted every aspect of our life. Innovations with these broader implications are called general purpose technologies. Digital or computation is a general purpose technology, which is at a very nascent stage of evolution. And we don't completely yet comprehend the broader implications of it. It has already created ripples far beyond our imagination during a transition from the World Wide Web in the 90s to the computation at scale on cloud and AI today. It has created enormous economic expansion, creating the winner-take-all economics, while creatively disrupting several industries. To name a few obvious of those, for those of you who are old enough to remember, Encyclopedia Britannica books overnight were transformed to digital. Camera, which was a chemical reaction, is today digital and a computation problem. Several industries have been transformed. The most visible one right in front of us that's happening is automobile and mobility. Automobile today is not a mechanical problem, it's a computational problem. Over the last couple of years, the global scale natural events have become a catalyst for accelerating digital expansion. Every industry and physical object is being digitally enabled today. These events have laid bare the structural gaps in our societies. More than 1 billion children are deprived of education over the last 3 years with the closure of schools across the globe. The sudden and immediate need for digital talent has left tens or even hundreds of millions of jobs unfulfilled across the globe with no immediate solution. This is just tip of an iceberg. But a good part of these gaps could be addressed combining digital enablement innovatively with the physical mode of education and learning that prevailed for centuries. The current great transitions provides an enabling environment for bringing a positive change to education and the joy of lifelong learning. NEP 2020 provides the well-needed policy framework to enable these changes. The government's both central and state initiatives combined with private EdTech companies' efforts has brought visibility to the scale of opportunity that lies ahead of us in bridging the digital divide and bringing equity and inclusive education to all sections of the society. Digital enablement in education will help us bring access to quality content and personalized learning at scale that only a privileged few could afford before. We've all experienced how one teacher can change the trajectory of our learning forever. Now, these same teaching methods could be codified on the digital platforms and provide at scale to not just the privileged. Another positive change is in enabling the struggling students. Culturally, we've all been there where the light of the loom, the light of the family, the light of the community is somebody who's well-to-do, not the struggling students. But the personalized learning with data and analytics can bring light to the struggling students. These are the type of innovations that we should adopt at scale. The role of a teacher should change from imparting knowledge from textbooks to enabling students to learn digitally and provides the needed bandwidth for the teachers to focus on the left behind learners and also on emotional and social aspects of learning. That's a holistic approach that's been addressed through NEP 2020. None of these will be possible without the participation of teachers or the evolution of teaching methods. We're really glad to see the government's efforts in elevating the stature of the teachers to the same level as in the society we give to the sports stars and movie stars. Performance management is an aspect that enterprises have been using for decades. There's no reason why, with the support of government framework, the EdTech companies could bring these same measurements to the educational institutions, providing transparency as well as a healthy competition between these education institutions. One of the biggest advantages for us as a country is our knowledge systems that have existed for centuries, far before the colonial past. These systems have been brought back through NEP 2020, and most states have these systems codified in their esteemed academic institutions like Shantiniketan in Bengal. Regional languages, the multilingualism is part of these systems that existed for a long time. A lot of Indians are multilingual. This not only helps in terms of forming the connections between the brain cells, between the right and the left side of the brain, and also helps us enable over lifetime learning and picking up multiple languages. Regional learning is a very important aspect for the country to prosper in the future. In addition to all of this, with the digital enablement at an early age, we can expose our students and the learners, including our teachers, to the best practices that exist, not just in India, but also outside the country. A culture of collaboration could be easily enabled through these education digital platforms. Last but not least is to solve the problem of employability of the existing graduates. Tens of millions of jobs go unfulfilled today in companies like ours. It's very tough to find right talent today. For the last couple of years, it's been extremely difficult, and we don't see this problem being solved anytime soon because of the digital expansion that's been going on globally. This provides a tremendous opportunity for all the EdTech industry supported by the government. And it's very clear, both the central and the state governments have been supporting all these initiatives. In summary, a prepared EdTech sector and a ready India is a ready world. This is the scale we have in front of all of us to address. Thank you.